What's going on? I wanted to share the most valuable lesson I have ever learned that has helped set me in a positive direction financially. It's something I learned years ago. I want to share what that lesson is with you because it's something that I firmly believe every single one of you, if you're not already doing this, you can go out and apply it immediately to start to set yourself in a positive trajectory financially. If you're not already moving in that kind of direction, I want to help you get there, and I want to share what I've learned in the process of building my real estate business in my life to help you get further along towards your goals. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international real estate team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of this video, all I'd ask is that you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And with that in mind, let's dive into the video. So the concept is this: pay yourself first. And I'm gonna explain to you what it means and also some examples of how I'm actually applying it, but also how you can as well. And so years ago, I had a mentor recommend that I read a book. And up to that point in my life, I was not one who read books. The only books I had read up to that point were assignments in school. So I did not have a knack for reading. I did not consider myself a reader whatsoever. But I heeded my mentor's advice because we should heed wise counsel. If we want to improve our life, we should listen to people who are there to guide us in our lives in a positive direction, especially if it's in the direction we want to go, which my mentor is someone who had achieved things in the direction I wanted to go. So I heeded his advice and I read this book. The book was called The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. And one of the concepts in the book that he shared was 7 cures for a lean purse. And the number one of those 7, the first of those 7 cures was start thy purse to fattening. And from the book, I'm gonna read something. Arcad, one of the main characters, advises, for every 10 coins thou placest within thy purse, take out for use but 9. Thine purse will start to fattening at once, and its increasingly weight will feel good in thy hand and bring satisfaction to thy soul. And so I'm going to translate this because there's some old language here, and it's an ancient tell, hence the old language. But what that all means is pay yourself first. When you get paid, when you get, whatever your earnings is, whether it's commission-based or salary-based, or if it's hourly-based, regardless, when you get a paycheck, what he's saying is take 10% off the top, and that is your money to keep. That means you do not use it for any expenses, any bills, anything you want. No, you set that aside and you do not touch it in the way of an expense. And that's how you start thy purse to fattening. That's how you start building your wealth. So whatever it is you do for work and do for a living now, apply this concept. Take 10% of each and every time you earn something and put it away in a savings account. Do not touch it. And what Arcad said in the book is you'll barely notice that it's gone. So like at the end of the day, you gotta think it might make a difference, right? And I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be easy. It might not be easy. Perhaps that's the obstacle for you to get started is, can you still have the discipline to do it, even if it is financially not a convenient thing for you to do that? Because if you can get to a point where you are disciplined and you are doing this consistently, it's gonna come to a point where you barely notice it's gone. And if it isn't an issue for you right away, how can you put yourself in a position to where you can earn more and more than make up for what the difference is coming off the top? Because it's essential that you put yourself in a position where you are building something for the long term. Because otherwise, well, don't take my word for it. Because there's a quote out there that has been said by someone that you probably know, and it goes like this: if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And Warren Buffett said that. So work itself isn't a bad thing. I'm a firm believer that we should do everything within our power, though, to create options for ourselves and for our family, both now and in the future. And reality is, if we are in a situation in our life and stay in a situation in our life where we need to work in order to pay our overhead and expenses, and that's the case for years, if not forever into the future. Reality is we do not have the kind of options we could potentially have for ourselves and our families, versus if we created a situation financially where we have those expenses being paid based on money we have working for us. And so a lot of people think, well, that's for rich people, that's for wealthy people, that's not me. Well, that's where the thought is flawed, because you don't just accidentally end up wealthy. Yeah, there's people born into those families, but anyone who exercises the discipline to apply this concept can move closer to a point where their family is one of those families. So there is a pathway forward, and you don't need a certain job. You don't need a certain income today to apply this. This will apply to any income level you're at. And here's an example of how you can apply this, right? So let's say that you earn $50,000 per year, right? $50,000 per year. So you apply this concept. That means you're gonna set aside $5,000 per year off the top. Now, let's say that you're young on your career and you've got 40 years ahead of you in this career that you're working, or just doing something to produce at least that kind of income going forward. Well, assuming that you don't have any increases in income along the way or any other streams of income, you'll manage to put away $200,000 over the course of that working career, that 40 years. But let's say that you have it invested, right? Because the point is not to simply stick it in a savings account. That's the starting point until you have something that you want to make an investment in to generate a return, because that's the goal of that money, is to generate a return. And if you read the book, that's what you'll figure out as well. That's one of the 7 cures for a lean person. There's more lessons on top of that in there that are so valuable. But if you invested in something that returns 7% per year on average and extrapolate that over 40 years, that would be nearly $1 million. And if you had it invested going forward, generating a 7% return, that would actually return $70,000 per year that would not be dependent on inputting more time. So you would have surpassed the income from your working career based on what your money is generating for you, generating a return. And that's the point. Now, let's say that you got to a point, one more example, right? Let's say you got to a point where you're earning $100,000 per year. And let's say that you'd like to retire in 30 years instead of 40, and that you find a way to get a 10% return per year on your money. Well, that'd be nearly $1.6 million, and invested at 10%, that would generate about $160,000 a year return. You could retire well before the age of 30 if you were on that game plan and that's what you were doing. But the point is discipline. It's applying it. It's actually doing it, because that's how you have something building with whatever it is you do for work. And that's the beautiful thing. You can apply this wherever you're at now and in the future, and it's going to start thy purse to fattening, or other words, start to build wealth in something that you actually own that can be at work for you, generating a return. And how I'm applying it, well, I believe that this concept is a baseline. I believe that if applied well, if you're in a position in life financially where you can build upon it, do it. And so at this point in time, I'm investing 20% off the top of what I earn, and doing so where I'm at in my career in real estate and what I've built, which has taken me years and years and years to build up to this point. But for me, that is going to allow me to buy at least one cash flowing property to add to my portfolio per year going forward. If you extrapolate that over the next 20 years, for me, that would be at least 20 cash flow producing properties. If you assumed at least $500 a month in cash flow for each of those 20, that would be $10,000 a month on cash flow, not to mention any of the other upsides and benefits of owning real estate, which cash flow is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you stick around, if you subscribe, I am going to share a video in the future, at least a video, probably multiple videos, of what the actual upside and benefits are investing in real estate, and how you can generate a solid return by doing so, by making real estate a key part of what it is you're investing in, by taking 10% of the money off the top and putting it away. That's what I'm doing. I believe in real estate, and I believe in it as an asset class, as far as how we can position ourselves and our families to have more options and opportunity in the future. So that's the concept. In summary, actually 2 things. One, read the book. The book changed my life, Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. You don't even have to buy it. It's free. Look it up on YouTube. It's a 4-hour audio listen. Buy it if you want to. But regardless, read the book, heed the wisdom. It has changed my life. It truly has, because I've taken what I learned from that book and I began applying it, and it's set me on a positive trajectory that I otherwise would not be on. So very grateful that I had someone come into my life, share that wisdom with me, and now I'm applying it. And it's my hope that you would do the same from watching this video, so that you can put yourself and your family in a better position financially going forward. And if you got value out of this video, all I would ask is that you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources to help you out in the time ahead. And with that in mind, thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.